Hello, 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 hello. Anybody out there? I was having a little bit of technical difficulties. I am Mina. Is there anyone out there? Hello. Hey, how you doing? So I wanted to go ahead and I don't know if you've joined me before. I've only did one other scope before. That's good. My tripod, or the thing that I have my phone jacked up on, is kind of far away, so I really can't see the messages. But I am Mina, and I wanted to actually jump on and show a lining technique that I used in a coat that I made for my daughter, and it's called the if you all saw, I'm sure you probably already heard of the technique. It's called a bag method. I made this cute little coat for her probably about a month ago. This is actually Vogue 9043. Hey, I can't see who's sending the message, but I see it says hello. But this is actually 9043 Little Vogue. I simply love this little coat. I made this out of like a wool tweed coat, and I lined it with this really pretty paisley. If you all can see, I love paisley. And again, I posted it on my Facebook page, and a couple of people have asked, you know, well, what's the bag method? So I said that I would go ahead and either do a tutorial, and that's when I was introduced to Periscope. So I wanted to show how I did this technique. So what I did is I went ahead and sewed. I made another coat. I had some scraps or my stash, and I made it out of jean. And you see all the ugly little seams inside. So what I'm going to do is show you the it's called the bag method, and it's actually a modification of the hand sewing technique that's used to insert a lining into a coat or a blazer. So again, what I did is I went ahead and sewed the coat up, and you can use this of course on any blazer or jacket method. Just, you know, sew your lining up according to the directions on your pattern. But the only deviation is with the bag method, what you're going to do is you're going to, in one of the arm seams, you're going to leave an opening there. If you can see this opening, you'll have to leave an opening. And what I do is I just sew from the wrist maybe 2 to 3 inches up, and then from this seam 2 to 3 inches down. Lock your stitches really good. And then what this is going to do is you're going to be pulling the coat actually through this little hole. So to achieve that look, what I'm going to do is take my lining. My lining is all together. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it, thanks for the hearts, thank you so much. We're going to sew the lining to the coat right sides together. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin the lining to the coat. And I'm hoping that I'm using like one of my machines, my older machines, because I don't like to move my good machines. This is like the machine that it's mobile. So I just got it fixed, so I'm hoping that it doesn't go out on me. We're still like having some problems. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the hearts. Thank you all. Just go ahead and pin this. Now again, you're going to take your lining, pin it right sides together to your coat, making sure that you're matching up your seams and everything. Right sides together. Try to do this as quickly as possible. Okay. If you want to invite other people, go ahead and invite them. I was having a little technical difficulties because my tripod broke on me, so I have like my phone propped up on thanks. I don't think I did this right. Hold on. Let me see. Go ahead and put all these together, right sides together. Make sure you're tucking your sleeves in. We don't want to sew on the sleeves. Or what did I do wrong here? I'm like not putting this together right. Let's see. Please bear with me as I sew this as I go ahead and pin this together. All right, so what I'm doing again is I'm just actually pinning the lining to my jacket right sides together, because I'm going to sew it, and just going to reach in here and pull my sleeves through. All right, so, and then when you put the, we're gonna take it and put it over the collar. So we're gonna be sewing that down, if you all can see. Thanks for the hearts. Bear with me as I pin and sew. So I'm doing the lining right sides together. Again, this is the bag method. It's a modification to the hand sewing technique for putting on, inserting lining to a blazer or a jacket. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew 5/8 of an inch for seam allowance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually be sewing around the whole coat. I'm going to sew around the whole coat. Through this whole coat, and again I'm just sewing around the whole coat. I put the lining on the coat, right sides together. On this machine, and like, oh my god, it's so long, I'm not even used to it. Alright, you all are sticking with me as I sew through this coat. I have my other machine on standby just in case this one starts acting funny. So I love this technique. I love this technique. It's like it's a really professional finish. It requires no hand sewing. Again, it's a modification to the hand sewing technique that's used to insert lining onto your blazers or your jackets or your coats. Again, there's no hand sewing required. It's strictly done by the machine. And that's what I love, because I hate hand sewing. I hate hand sewing. So again, I'm just sewing this all the way around. Almost done. Doing the collar area. So, thanks for the hearts. Bear with me. I'm almost done. Almost done with the sewing. Okay, so again, what I've done is I've taken the jacket and to achieve this look, I took the lining, sewed it right sides together, and for the sleeves, what I'm going to do is we need to bring the sleeves out like this. So after you're done sewing all the way around the coat, what you're going to do is this is how your coat should look. This is how it should look. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our lining and make sure your sleeve is not twisted. Make sure this sleeve is not twisted. Everything is lined up. You see they're lined up together. Now what I do is I just fold this under. And then what I do is I normally give it a little press, so I'll have a little crease in it. If my iron wasn't on, but okay. But again, to attach the sleeves, to line the sleeves, what I do again is I fold this under maybe about 1 inch, and then I just go ahead and crease it a little bit because it'll be easy to put in the sleeve. Iron heat up a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing to the other sleeve. Make sure your sleeve is not twisted or anything. Make sure this sleeve isn't twisted. Thanks for the hearts. Thank you. Make sure these sleeves are lined up with one another. They're not twisted. All right, and then go ahead and put a little crease in this one. Fold it under about 1 inch. Doesn't have to be exact. Just give it a little press. Now what you're going to do with the sleeves is, this is the coat and this is the lining. I'm going to take the lining and I'm going to put it inside the coat sleeve. I'm going to line up the seams. I'm going to do right sides together. All right, right sides together. I'm going to take this lining and just stick it in. If you all can see, take it and it's going to be right sides together. And then you're just going to pin it. Because what we're going to do is we're going to sew around. So just stick it in there, line the seams up. Pin. All right, And then just, again, make sure, you know, your sleeves are not twisted or anything. Do the same thing with this one. Folded it under about an inch. Make sure this seam in your sleeve is going to match up right sides together with the seam of your coat, of your jacket or your blazer, coat, whichever. Do you see how I'm taking this and I'm just kind of like sticking it in there, but it's this, the right side of the lining is going to go up against the right side of the coat or your blazer. And then we're just going to pin it. Again, it's very important that you don't let these twist because it won't come out right. And then just pin them. You all still with me? Thanks for the hearts. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew that. If I can, my other thing is a little bit skinnier, so I could do it a little bit better, get this cuff in here a little bit better. But we're going to sew these right sides together, the lining into the coat right sides together. This is the hardest part of it with these, with the sleeves. But it doesn't take long to do. Again, I'm sewing this right sides together, the lining to the coat. So my machine is holding up pretty well for me. This is an older machine that I actually gave to my daughter to practice sewing on. So it's actually holding up for me. I had this machine, I think I bought this when she was, before she was born, when I was pregnant with her, so it's about 6 years old. It's also an embroidery machine too. So now we're going to come over to the second sleeve and sew right sides together. So I hope I didn't twist I don't think I twisted my sleeves. All right. Yeah, this is like especially if your cuff arm isn't thin enough to get these on to fit right over. This is like the hardest part of doing this lining. Done. I love this method. It's like if you go into your closet and look at any of your ready-to-wear garments, like your coats or your blazers, you'll see that this is the method that's used in your ready-to-wear garments. It gives like a nice. It's just like it's really nice. You can actually use this method if you wanted to, excuse me, this could actually probably be a reversible coat. I really like this little coat for her. Hopefully she'll get to wear it this year because, you know, our weather in Cleveland has been kind of like really iffy, so it's like I haven't even put any closures on it yet. I'm not sure what kind of closures I want to put on it, whether I want to do a hook and eye or the fabric cover buttons wasn't an option because this fabric's a little bit too thick, so I'm still debating, but I'm hoping that she can get some wear out of it. Okay, so now that our sleeves are sewn on, I hope I don't look like I twisted them up, so hopefully I didn't. And this is how it should look after it's all sewn up. Now that little hole that we left in the sleeve, which is over here, what we're going to do is we're going to just reach in that little hole. Remember the little hole that we left open in the arm seam? We're just going to reach in and pull your coat through. You got to leave it. You got to have that opening wide enough to pull the coat through. Luckily, this is a small coat, so I didn't have to. Oh, and before something that I did forget. After you're finished with your sewing around the coat and everything, normally I would grade my seam allowances, grade them down, but I didn't do it just because of this tutorial. But yeah, so just pull your coat all the way through. Pull it all the way through this hole. Pull your sleeves out. And now you have it. You have a nice, and then after this, of course, you know, I should, but and I'll probably do it later. I'll pull it back through and I'll grade my seam allowances so they're not as thick or whichever. But you see, now you have a nice lined, it looks really professional. I love this method. It's super easy. You see, you can't see any, you see the sleeves, you can't see any thread. It looks really professional. Once I give this a really good press, this will be a really cute little coat for her to wear. I'm just hoping and praying that she'll get a chance to wear this one, because I'm like in love with this coat. I love these little princess seams. Again, this was like a really easy pattern. It's a little Vogue 9043. It's an easy pattern. It only takes 1.25 yards fabric. But again, see, I think this is really cute too. Again, the pockets are lined in the butterfly material. Let's see. That was like really easy. And again, I'll just go ahead and I'll press it up really good. And when my daughter, when she comes home, she's actually gone for the weekend with her granny. But when she comes home, she'll have a new coat. Again, you see it, really pretty. Like the butterflies. I love the butterflies. But that was pretty easy, right? And you get a really nice professional finish. All right? Can you all see? Love it, love it, love it. You love it? Thank you. Again, and once I press it, it'll be really nice. And again, this is a modification to the hand sewing technique. And I know that hand sewing, aligning in, or hand sewing is, it goes hand in hand with fine tailoring and all of that. But I hate hand sewing, and if I can do everything sewing by a machine, then I'm going to try to find an easy way, easy technique, easy way to do it. So just wanted to jump on really quick. And if you go to my blog, it's Mina Lolita, MINALOLITA, excuse me, .com. I'll post it. I'll probably have some pictures of her in it, modeling it. But again, here's this little coat. Thank you all for joining me for this little tutorial. Again, when you finish sewing this from the other side, you would normally grade your seams, okay? So they won't be so thick. And then give this a really good pressing. And then there you are. She can even roll her little sleeves up. I love this. Love this technique. And again, guaranteed, if you go and look at any of your ready-to-wear coats, like your blazers or coats, you'll see that this is the method that they use. And then just actually what I forgot is to finish this off, what you'll do is the sleeve that had the opening in it that I put the coat through, you'll just actually, I think it was, yes, this one. You'll just actually bring it back out. You'll see that. And if you want to hand sew it, but me personally, I don't like hand sewing, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it, and after I pull it back through and I grade the seam allowances and everything and iron it and everything, pull it back through, I'm going to stitch this with my machine. So again, this is a method of lining a coat or a blazer using a machine 100%. I'm ready to make a blazer now. Good. And it's like super easy. I love this technique. I love it. So this little coat right here is a little bit, she probably can wear this, like, we are in spring now, but she'll be able to wear it, you know, spring, just a transition jacket. I could probably do some fabric covered buttons for this one because the jean won't be that thick, but I think that it's like super cute. Maybe I'll make her a skirt to go with it. I don't know. But I know it's late. Thank you all for joining in this scope. And peace. And thanks for the hearts.